If I'd have done all the things I was supposed to have done, I'd be really tired.
The legendary musician Willie Nelson has spoken. At 91, he remembers everything, especially about his music journey, and one of his greatest friends, Kris Kristofferson. Everyone knows the two had an extensive collaboration in the past, performing and songwriting, doing music they never thought lasted for generations. Nelson is making headlines, and their supporters around the world are feeling nostalgic. Let's discover what Mr. Nelson has to reveal. Nelson. Kris is one of the greatest songwriters of all time. Willie Nelson, renowned for his easygoing demeanor, rebellious nature, and enduring melodies, recently astonished many with a surprising declaration regarding his longtime friend and collaborator, Kris Kristofferson. This was not merely a casual reference. It was a significant announcement that reverberated throughout the music industry. With his characteristic sparkle, Willie unveiled a revelation that has altered the perception of Kristofferson's legacy. What exactly did Willie say that sparked such excitement? In his straightforward manner, Nelson proclaimed Kristofferson to be one of the greatest songwriters of all time. This commendation, issued by Willie Nelson, a figure who has crafted some of the most iconic songs in country music, was of great significance. To further emphasize this point, Willie placed Kristofferson alongside legendary songwriters such as Merle Haggard and Hank Williams. Consider the implications. Two esteemed country legends now recognized in Willie's estimation alongside Kristofferson. But why is this noteworthy, you may wonder? It transcends the mere phrasing. It is the context that lends weight to the statement. Willie and Kris are not merely professional associates, they share a profound friendship that has endured through decades of triumphs and challenges in the music industry. These artists do not simply compose hits, they embody the music they produce, infusing genuine emotion into every lyric and melody. When Willie asserts that Kristofferson's songwriting has significantly influenced country music alongside icons like Billy Joe Shaver, he speaks from a place of deep understanding, having witnessed his friend invest his heart into every line. It is indeed a rare occurrence to witness one legend paying tribute to another in such a manner. This is akin to Muhammad Ali designating another boxer as the greatest, an event that is both uncommon and deeply significant. While Willie takes pride in his own contributions, he recognizes a distinct inspiration in Kristofferson's music that resonates not only with him but also with audiences globally. The public's response was overwhelming. Fans inundated social media platforms, with some expressing disbelief while others reflected on their long-held belief in Kris's exceptional talent. Many revisited Kris's songs, approaching them with renewed perspective and discovering new interpretations in lyrics they had previously thought familiar. It was as if a light had been turned on, prompting a collective desire to explore what had been overlooked in Kris's music throughout the years. The reaction extended beyond fans. The country music community also took notice. Dolly Parton was among the first to resonate with Willie's sentiments. In a moving statement, she remarked, "Kris has always been one of the most genuine songwriters I know. Understanding what he endured makes his artistry even more extraordinary." When Dolly Parton refers to someone as genuine, it is a commendation that carries significant weight. Other artists shared their personal anecdotes regarding Kris's music, illustrating the profound impact he has had on the genre. Willie's remarks transcended mere admiration, igniting profound discussions regarding the pressures of fame and its impact on personal relationships. Kris's career was not solely characterized by glamour. He encountered various challenges, both on a personal and professional level. These experiences influenced his songwriting, rendering his lyrics more relatable and authentic. Industry experts noted that numerous artists grapple with similar pressures, yet few manage to transform those challenges into art as effectively as Kris. This observation prompted a broader dialogue about the importance of supporting artists during difficult periods. One might ponder whether Kris's music would have taken a different form had he not faced those adversities. While it is difficult to ascertain, his journey undoubtedly enhances the significance of his art. Ultimately, Willie Nelson's surprising comments did more than elevate his friend's legacy. They provoked introspection and admiration. They served as a reminder that even amidst a landscape populated by legends, certain artists remain underappreciated. Thanks to Willie, it appears that Kris is finally receiving the recognition he deserves. This dynamic truly exemplifies the beauty of their friendship. At the age of 91, Willie Nelson has finally broken his silence, leaving many astonished. After years of reticence, what could this iconic country music figure possibly reveal that is making waves? Stay with us until the conclusion, as Nelson's insights are bound to leave you in awe. This is one revelation you will not want to overlook. Kris Kristofferson's songwriting genius. Kris possesses a remarkable talent for transforming simple words into lyrics that resonate deeply. This is the essence of his songwriting brilliance. He eschews elaborate or intricate language in favor of clear melodies and structures that allow his words to stand out. While one might assume that simplicity could constrain his creativity, for Kris, it enhances the depth of his songs. Each word appears to be meticulously selected, as if he understands that every syllable must convey significance. Moreover, his ability to create vivid imagery is exceptional. He skillfully crafts scenes with his words, making it feel as though you are experiencing the moment alongside him. Consider the song "Sunday Morning Comin' Down," where the line, "Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt," immediately immerses you in that hazy, regret-laden morning. How does he achieve such impact with so few words? He has perfected the art of expressing emotions that we have all experienced but may struggle to articulate. His lyrical approach renders even the most intimate experiences relatable on a broader scale. Listening to his music feels like he is tapping into profound aspects of the human experience that resonate with everyone. Ultimately, isn't that what lends a song its timeless quality? Kristofferson's talent for extracting universal truths from the fabric of everyday life is the reason his songs continue to resonate powerfully, even decades later. It transcends mere storytelling. It fosters a connection that few songwriters can achieve. Let us now examine some of his most significant songs. Determining where to begin is quite challenging, as his discography is filled with tracks that have made a lasting impact on music history. However, if we were to select one, Me and Bobby McGee would undoubtedly be at the forefront. Who among us has not experienced the dual sensations of freedom and heartbreak while listening to that song? It encapsulates a beautifully bittersweet journey from the heights of love to the inevitability of loss. While Janis Joplin's rendition is the most widely recognized, it is important to acknowledge that Kristofferson is the original songwriter. Another noteworthy piece is Sunday Mornin' Comin' Down, which not only enjoys popularity among fans but also received high praise from Bob Dylan, who referred to it as great. Such commendation from Dylan is rare, indicating the song's profound significance. The song's unvarnished depiction of the repercussions of excess, portraying the stark reality one faces after a night of escapism, represents a brutally honest moment in songwriting that compels reflection. The chorus emerges as a plea for something greater, a yearning for improvement, a sentiment we all experience at various times. Kristofferson masterfully balances the raw, unrefined aspects of life with a glimmer of hope. Kris delves into themes of love, loss, and redemption, capturing the essence of our shared humanity. His lyrics resonate deeply, as if he is addressing a concealed part of your soul. This is the enchantment of Kristofferson. He articulates the complexities of the human experience in all its intricacies, making his work feel just as pertinent today as it did in the 1970s. The lyrics of Kris Kristofferson do not merely occupy your thoughts, they inhabit the recesses of your mind, lingering long after the music has faded. You find yourself revisiting those words, contemplating their significance and how they connect to your own experiences. It is a rare occurrence to encounter such profound resonance. His songwriting taps into universal feelings, moments of joy, sorrow, and longing that anyone can relate to. This is especially evident in songs like "Help Me Make It Through the Night," where he unravels vulnerability with such honesty that it almost feels as though he's speaking directly to you. It's this emotional rawness that sets Kristofferson apart. He doesn't shy away from depicting the darker sides of life, but he does so with a warmth that suggests an underlying compassion. His work goes beyond entertainment. It's an exploration of what it means to live, love, and lose. The appeal of his music lies in the genuine connection he fosters with listeners, drawing us into his world while illuminating our own. His songs aren't just melodies. They're shared moments, fragments of life that continue to impact and inspire. The next time you hear a Kris Kristofferson song, take a moment to really listen. You might just find a piece of yourself in his words. The Highwaymen Legacy. The narrative of the Highwaymen, an iconic supergroup in the realm of country music, represents a remarkable chapter in history that seems almost too extraordinary to be real. Yet it undeniably occurred, leaving an indelible impact on the genre. Can you envision the most prominent figures in country music uniting almost serendipitously to create a transformative phenomenon? This is precisely what transpired with Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and Kris Kristofferson. Each of these artists was already a well-known name, but fate intervened, bringing them together in an unforeseen manner. The inception of this collaboration dates back to 1984, during the filming of one of Johnny Cash's Christmas specials in Montreux, Switzerland. After long hours on set, they would unwind, exchange stories, and engage in musical improvisation. When such immense talent converges in one space, extraordinary things occur. Did they have any inkling of the legendary status that would arise from that initial camaraderie? Upon returning to the United States, the idea of collaborating remained vivid in their minds, and before they could reconsider, they found themselves in the studio with producer Chips Moman. Determining a name for this assembly of legends posed a challenge. Ultimately, they chose the Highwaymen, inspired by the song Highwaymen by Jimmy Webb. This title not only encapsulated the essence of the group, but also served as the name of their debut album. This decision proved to be a stroke of brilliance. The song Highwayman emerged as their inaugural single, soaring to the pinnacle of the country charts. It is one of those tracks that resonates deeply, instantly recognizable as something exceptional. The intriguing aspect lies in how four colossal stars, each with their own unique personas, managed to harmonize their talents. This dynamic was indeed part of the magic. Each artist added their unique touch to the group. Willie Nelson brought his chill, smooth singing. Johnny Cash had that powerful, commanding voice. Waylon Jennings added a rough, rebellious edge, and Kris Kristofferson infused it all with his lyrical depth. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with. The coolest part? They truly respected one another, even when they disagreed. Remember when Willie Nelson surprised everyone with his recent remarks about Kris Kristofferson's impact? It shows that their connection was still strong. Sure, they had their creative differences. Who wouldn't with such talented and strong-willed individuals? But in the end, their friendship was more important than any argument. Jessie Coulter, Waylon Jennings' wife, once shared an interesting insight about their group. She pointed out that Kris was really into politics, while Waylon, not so much. In fact, Waylon believed artists shouldn't mix their art with politics, which probably stirred up some tension. But here's the thing. They got each other. Kris didn't push his views, and Waylon didn't hold it against him. That kind of mutual respect is what kept the Highwaymen thriving. Their music was something special, a blend of country, rock, and folk, really a little bit of everything, and it felt both fresh and timeless at the same time. Their lyrics really went beyond the surface, diving into social issues, politics, and personal challenges, which was pretty rare in mainstream country music back then. That's what set them apart. They weren't shy about addressing tough topics. It was as if they recognized their platform and wanted to use it for more than just topping the charts. But their impact didn't end with their own songs. The Highwaymen paved the way for future collaborations in country music. They demonstrated that even if you've already achieved fame, you can still create something fresh and exciting with other well-known artists. The Highwaymen proved that supergroups could be successful, and they definitely were. They motivated a new wave of country artists and expanded the genre's reach. Their influence is still felt today, even if some current artists don't fully realize it. Their albums have been re-released, and new fans keep finding their music. And it's not only about the tunes. The Highwaymen became a representation of what can happen when you combine different talents and let them shine. In 2001, they were rightfully inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. It was like the industry was finally recognizing what fans had known all along. These guys were true legends. Now here's something to think about. Willie Nelson is the last surviving member of the Highwaymen. Just thinking about it makes you stop and consider the influence this group had. Recently, Willie decided to speak up about Kris Kristofferson and the contributions of the group, and honestly, it was really impactful. Willie's insights are significant because he's experienced everything and has been through the highs and lows of this journey. This serves as a reminder of how unique the Highwaymen were and the way they transformed country music. Would country music look the same today without their influence? Probably not. The Highwaymen were more than just a supergroup, they represented a movement. Even now, years later, their music, legacy, and camaraderie still motivate people. Willie Nelson just revealed something huge that took everyone by surprise. After keeping some things to himself for years, the legendary singer has finally shared his thoughts, and now everyone is curious. We know what it is, but there's still more to uncover. Stick around as we uncover the full story behind this stunning announcement. Before we get into it, let's find out the legacy of the band that brought Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson together. A friendship for the ages. The friendship between Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson is one of those epic connections that goes way beyond just being colleagues in the music industry. It all kicked off in the early 1970s when both were starting to make waves in country music. But their bond was anything but ordinary. They weren't just two famous guys hanging out. It was something much more profound. They were artists who discovered each other while forging their own unique paths and challenging the norms of Nashville. These two rebels would sit around discussing life, music, and how they could disrupt the industry. They weren't merely musicians. They were like soulmates in creativity. Recently, Willie Nelson surprised everyone by sharing just how different their backgrounds really were. Willie grew up in Abbott, Texas, spending his childhood working on farms, picking cotton, and playing his guitar whenever he had the chance. He was a genuine, down-to-earth guy from the very beginning. On the flip side, Kris came from a military family with his dad being an Air Force general. Talk about a stark contrast, right? Kris had a strict, disciplined upbringing with high expectations. It's incredible to think that these two, hailing from such different backgrounds, ended up on the same path to becoming country music legends. Despite their vastly different starts, they were both drawn to country music for one main reason: storytelling. That's what fueled their passion. Willie brought his raw, gritty vibe while Kris offered his poetic, thoughtful lyrics, both aiming to deliver something authentic. They connected over their shared frustrations with the polished, cookie-cutter Nashville sound that was taking over the radio at that time. It was as if they both realized, we can create something better. And that's precisely what they accomplished by leading the outlaw country movement. Alongside icons like Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, they tossed aside the traditional rules and returned country music to its authentic roots, giving it the gritty feel it had been missing. But their friendship went beyond just music. They truly understood each other on a personal level. Both Willie and Kris faced the challenge of raising families while navigating the pressures of fame, which is no easy task. Can you imagine juggling tour dates, recording sessions, and still being a loving father and husband? The toll on their personal lives must have been huge, but that's where their friendship really shone. They were there for each other during tough times, including battles with addiction and the relentless pressures of their careers. Recently, Willie mentioned that Kris, despite all his success, often carried a heavy load of guilt and regret. Who would have thought? Kris Kristofferson, the man behind so many hits, feels like he didn't quite measure up as a father and husband because of all the time he spent away. That's something he shared with Willie, and it really highlights the depth of their friendship. And then there's the music. It's tough to discuss Willie and Kris without acknowledging how much they influenced one another. Their work together in the Highwaymen marked a significant moment not just in their careers but in the entire country music scene. When you think about it, the Highwaymen wasn't just a supergroup, it was a collection of friends uniting to create something greater than themselves. Even as they aged, Willie and Kris continued to collaborate, whether it was crafting new songs or revitalizing old classics. They showed that creativity doesn't have a shelf life. They didn't just motivate each other, they inspired a whole generation of country artists eager to break away from the norm and use their music to convey meaningful messages. Willie Nelson has always been open about his admiration for his friend, but in his latest comments he really went all out by calling Kris Kristofferson one of the greatest songwriters of all time. The fact that Willie would publicly share his admiration like that, it just goes to show how much Kris's songwriting genius impacted not only Willie, but the entire music industry. Now, with Willie being the last surviving member of the Highwaymen, his recent reflections on his friendship with Kris hit even harder. It's not just about the music anymore. It's about looking back on a lifelong bond, on all the ups and downs they faced together, and realizing how rare it is to have a friend like that. Willie breaking his silence and sharing these personal stories isn't just a tribute to Kris, it's a reminder of the legacy they built together. Kristofferson's influence on country music. Kris Kristofferson has had a groundbreaking influence on country music, and if you've ever shown even a little interest in the genre, you can easily see how far his impact reaches. His approach to songwriting was like a breath of fresh air, transforming country music in ways that are still felt today. When someone like Willie Nelson, who is a legend himself, calls Kris one of the greatest songwriters of all time, it's clear that this isn't just a casual compliment, it's a significant recognition of his talent. Kristofferson had a remarkable ability to mix simplicity with deep meaning. His lyrics could hit you right in the feels with just a few carefully chosen words. Doesn't that make you think about the kind of influence he had on the music industry as a whole? It wasn't only his lyrics that made a difference, it was his whole approach to songwriting that changed the game for country music. He was a true innovator. Rather than sticking to the usual country music formulas, he combined elements of folk, rock, and country in ways that were completely unique at the time. It was like he was saying, why not take the best parts of all these genres and create something fresh? And that's exactly what he did. The outcome was a sound that was distinctly Kristofferson, one that expanded the reach of country music to a broader audience. But it wasn't just about creating music that sounded different. Kris was paving the way for others to follow. His courage to take risks, both in his lyrics and his music, inspired a whole new generation of songwriters. They noticed Kris's actions, which inspired them to address those tough and often awkward subjects in their own work. John Prine, another legendary figure, was one of the artists that Kristofferson supported early in his career. Their friendship lasted for decades, and it's fair to say that Kristofferson's guidance played a significant role in launching Prine's career. Isn't it amazing to think that one musical legend could shape another's path, creating a wave that encouraged many others to take chances in their music? Willie Nelson also spoke about Kris's legacy, highlighting how deep and lasting that influence is. Alongside Willie, Johnny Cash, and Waylon Jennings, Kristofferson helped form the Highwaymen, which further cemented his status in country music history. And if you believe that his involvement with the Highwaymen was just a minor endeavor, think again. That supergroup became a powerful statement against the generic style of country music that dominated Nashville at the time. It was like they were declaring, we're going to do things our way, and you can either join us or be left behind. In that way, Kristofferson was more than just a musician. He was a pioneer, a mentor, and a revolutionary force in the music scene. When you consider country music today, with so many artists mixing genres and addressing serious topics in their lyrics, it's hard to picture what it would be like without Kristofferson's impact. It's hard to say if the genre would have changed in the same way without him. What we do know is that Kristofferson's influence is clear, and country music has definitely benefited from it. His songs and his unique style will keep inspiring new artists for many years. Have you ever listened to one of his tracks and felt like it was meant just for you? That's the magic of Kristofferson. He connects with people across different times and styles in a way that feels both classic and deep. Isn't that what every amazing artist aims to achieve? After a lot of talk and speculation, he has finally cleared things up. But what he shared is way more surprising than anyone thought. Willie Nelson paid a heartfelt tribute to his friend. But there's an unexpected twist. You'll want to stick around until the end to catch the full story behind Nelson's incredible announcement. The tribute performance. Willie Nelson's rendition of Last Leaf has gained a deeper meaning since Kris Kristofferson's passing, and it's tough not to feel emotional about it. Initially, Nelson picked this song to highlight his long-standing presence in country music, recognizing that he's one of the few remaining artists from that iconic time. Now it seems to represent something even more profound, a sincere homage to his dear friend and fellow highwayman. The power of Last Leaf lies in the fact that it's no longer just about Willie Nelson's status in the music scene. It has evolved into a representation of the lasting legacy of the Highwaymen and the strong connection between Nelson and Kristofferson. One line that really resonates is, "If they cut down this tree, I'll show up in a song." It feels like Nelson is conveying that even though Kristofferson is no longer here, his essence continues to thrive in the music, the memories, and every note that Nelson plays. It's incredibly moving, right? You can sense how much this song has changed for him. When Willie Nelson finally spoke out about Kristofferson's death, you could feel the weight of it in his performance of Last Leaf. The emotional bond he shares with the song is so intense that it's hard not to feel it too. This song has become a way for Nelson to cope with his sorrow and honor the man who was not just a musical collaborator, but a genuine friend. Their friendship was much more than just about music. They supported each other through tough times and celebrated the good moments together. Their connection ran deeper than their professional ties, and you can truly feel that in Nelson's singing now. His version of Last Leaf really captures the mixed feelings of being the last one standing, while also honoring the amazing legacy they created together. It's both sad and uplifting at the same time, right? Nelson's tribute has really struck a chord with many people. A lot of fans have taken to social media to express how much the song resonates with them now after Kristofferson's passing. One fan even tweeted, "Hearing Last Leaf feels different now. You can sense the love and pain in every line." This performance has also sparked some important discussions. People are opening up about the pressures of fame and how it impacts personal relationships. When you think about it, the challenges that Nelson and Kristofferson faced are not just theirs. They're common in the industry. Some music experts have pointed out that there needs to be more support for artists as they deal with the ups and downs of their careers. It's a reminder that even the most legendary figures aren't free from the struggles that come with being in the spotlight. Willie Nelson's rendition of Last Leaf has evolved into something beyond just a song. For him, it holds a deep personal significance, while for his fans it represents a shared moment of remembrance. It feels like we're all coming together to celebrate the influence that both Nelson and Kristofferson have had on country music. Their music will continue to resonate, just like the memories we hold. And isn't that the most beautiful aspect of it all? How is Willie nowadays? As of November 1st, 2024, Willie Nelson, the 91-year-old country music legend, continues to be active in his musical career. He recently released his 76th solo studio album, Last Leaf on the Tree, on November 1st, 2024. This album, produced by his son Micah Nelson, features a collection of covers and original songs, including a rendition of Tom Waits's Last Leaf and contributions from artists like Beck and the Flaming Lips. Earlier this year, Nelson faced health challenges that led to the cancellation of several performances during his Outlaw Music Festival tour in June 2024. He was advised by doctors to rest, resulting in missed shows in Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, and New York. However, after a brief hiatus, Nelson made a triumphant return to the stage on July 4, 2024, at his annual 4th of July picnic in Camden, New Jersey. His performance was met with a standing ovation, and he expressed enthusiasm about resuming his tour. In addition to his musical endeavors, Nelson remains an advocate for reform. He has been vocal about his support for policy changes and has collaborated on projects related to, including a cookbook. Overall, despite recent health concerns, Willie Nelson continues to engage actively in his music career and advocacy work, demonstrating resilience and dedication to his craft. What are your thoughts about the friendship of Willie and Kris? Are you a fan of their music? Share your thoughts below and continue tuning in to our Celebrity Stories videos.